Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, Fabulites. This is Angela, and I have got questions for you. What opens with Ghost with his family, his wife and his child, one of them, and what closes with Ghost and his family, his street family, reunited once again? If you guess Power, Season 4, Episode 10, the finale, you can't fix this, then you're correct. And if you want to stick around to see how we get from opening to closing, please do. Thank you so much for clicking and sticking. The channel is Be Fabulous You, and I, again, am Angela. All right, let's go. So we see Tariq being interviewed by the cops about Raina's murderation. His parents are there. Reek is lying. He's crying under the pressure, but is he really crying or is he just playing it? And then we see Mama Tasha gets a bag of baby Raina's possessions, but she has to leave her baby Raina behind because she's dead. Okay, so then we see Tommy on the street with his dad's mob BFF, his dad's mob BFF, Sammy, and he's about to meet his mob family, but he's interrupted by Kanan on the street outside of the mob secret hideaway. How did Kanan know where to go, where Tommy was? He tried to kill him when he was dealing with Dre. He tried to kill him. Why does Kanan think Tommy tried to kill him? Oh, yeah, why does Kanan think that Tommy was trying to kill him? He was dealing with Dre. That's the first person I would think, oh, he knew I was coming back in town. His behind probably had something to do with it. Okay, so then Kay, we see has 2 dead bodies in the trunk. I guess those are the guys who tried to jump him. Tommy identifies the Taino tattoos on the bodies, and he's like, those MFs are Cristobal's guys. And then he's like, Tommy is like, me and you are cool. You know, you saved Tariq's life. Dre's tight with Cristobal. And then Kanan is like, Dre, he knew I was coming back. And then I'm trying to figure out why Kanan got to put a crew together to get Andre when he was pimping Andre's behind out a minute ago. He was threatening Andre's daughter and all of that. Did we see something where Andre showed that he stepped up and he wasn't going to be punked by Kanan anymore? I mean, when did Kanan get scared of Andre? Okay. And all that. Okay, so Tommy, I might be able to get some local backup because Kanan said he had to go out of town and get some backup, and then he gonna get with Dre. I might be able to get some local backup, Tommy says. So you don't have to go out of town. Then Tommy's phone rings, and it's G, I guess for Ghost, and then Tommy doesn't answer, and then Ghost texts 911. Raina. Tommy don't know yet. Okay, so then we see the St. Patrick family arriving in the truck in the garage at the apartment building. Tasha tries to get more info from Tariq. He lies. Tasha knows he can't. You can't see that he's lying, she says to Ghost, because he lies just like you. And then James, he's not lying. He didn't know anything. He didn't see anything because it was pros from the Jimenez cartel. Tommy warned me and I didn't listen. For the real estate deal, I had to clear out some Toros Locos by dealing with the Jimenez. And Tasha, you dragged us back into a life of crime. You can't fix this. Raina is gone. She was from my body, blood of my blood, flesh of my flesh. You go out there and you handle this, but don't you get killed. And don't you get caught. Okay, so then we see Lakeisha, about 20 and 50 folks in their place. When they open the elevator door, their place is on jam. And they're there for mourning Raina. And James goes back in the back. He unsuits. He transforms by putting on all black clothes and a vest and a his coat or whatever. He puts a couple of suits in a bag. He balls up the Man of the Year program. And then Councilman Tate texts him, meet me 2 p.m. at this church. And I didn't notice if Ghost got his gun or not, but I thought I saw a gun. I don't know. Then we see Angela. She's at a Department of Justice meeting. It's her first meeting with her team because she's not the big boss, but she's a bigger boss. She's a boss now. She wasn't a boss before. She was a worker bee. She's buzzing around. She's briefing them on the murderation, and Mock is like, hey, that's my case. And she's like, well, I might assign it to you, John, if it's fitting, but for now, everyone gets briefed. And then we see the picture of the fancy gold Jimenez brother gun. Then Cooper Sachs joins in the meeting late, and he's like, oh, I was just distracted by the St. James. They like St. Patrick stuff. That's a wrap. He's like, oh, I'm not talking about the father. I'm talking about the fact that the child was murdered. And Angela's like, and he's like, oh, you were saying? And Angela misses a beat, but just about a beat, maybe a beat and a half. And then she's like, oh, okay, back to the meeting. So that's the end of that. Then we see Angela on her laptop, and she's reading about Raina's story in the news. And then we see Sachs comes in, and he's like, now, I know that St. Patrick is dirty because his daughter was killed. He's going to want revenge with his grungy queens behind. St. Patrick is going to make a move, and this is our opportunity to take him down. And Angie, for what? Get out now! And then we see James at his office at home, and he's looking through the bag of Raina's possessions. Tommy texts. He says he's downstairs. He leaves his phone in the drawer. James leaves his phone in the drawer, and he's leaving. Tariq sees him. Tasha sees him. Tasha nods like, go kill him. Don't get caught. Don't get caught. Don't get killed. Whatever she had told him. Then we see Angela on the street running into Jamie. Jamie, I'm so sorry. You have any idea who could have done this? And Ghost makes eye contact with Tommy in his car, watching and waiting. And he's like, I gotta go. James says to Angie, Angie, what's in the bag? If you kill the murderer, you will lose everything. And then James is like, I gotta go plan Raina's funeral, and I already lost everything. And then he gets into Tommy's blue Mustang. Kind of distinctive car to be doing all of this, creeping, they doing illegal stuff. And Ghost is like, it's all for the kids, past, present, and future. And Tommy is like, I know. And he gives him a phone and a gun. And he's like, let's go. I know where to start. And then we see Kanan harassing the guys who are cleaning out his trunk. And he gets a call from Tariq. Tariq is like, you know where I can find Ray Ray? He owed me money. If you hear anything, let me know. And then next thing we see is, we see Ray Ray reading Raina's murderation police report. His little cuz Destiny comes in, and we know he's at his place or whatever. And he tells her that he killed Raina. And since Tariq didn't say anything to the cops in the police report that he was just reading, Ray Ray tells Destiny that Reek is going to tell his father Ghost, and he going to take it to a higher authority. So Ray Ray is like, I gotta leave town. And then there's a knock at the door, and he tells Destiny to go on to the back. It's Angela, AUSA Valdez, and she's like, Tariq's principal told me that you had questions for Tariq. And Raymond is like, 2 of his classmates were robbed, and Tariq was connected, and I'm trying to save him from a life of crime. And then we see Tommy coming into a car repair shop, bullets first, and he's followed by Ghost and his bullets, right behind. And then Ghost uses a staple gun to staple, I guess it's Uriel, to the chair. And he's like, which Jimenez killed my daughter? Who gave the order? And Uriel is like, we don't kill children, and we are crazy bulls, but we're not animals. But I did kill Julio. Dre set me up to do it. And then Tomcat is like, Dre, what the fuck? And then Ghost, shoot, bang, shoots Uriel in the head. And Ghost is like, we're back to square one. I gotta go plan my daughter's funeral. And Tommy had been like, we could. And then he's like, we're going to find the killer. We're going to find the murderer. Then we see Silver arriving at Tasha's penthouse, and he interrupts someone who's comforting her, and they go back into the room, and Silver is like, do you have any idea what happened? You can tell me. I love you. Tell me what you know. Wait, where's James? Tasha, your family cannot be out here committing crimes right now. You are under too much scrutiny. And then that's basically the end. Tasha like, no, thank you for stopping by, sir. And then all this paper making noise. Okay, so then we see Dre leaving his Barron Park luxury apartment, and Tommy is watching, and Tommy is about to go get at Dre, but Dre walks up on Ray Ray with his badge overcover, not undercover, and Tommy gets back in the car and leaves. And then Ray Ray is like, I want some money. You ain't paid me or Jukebox. He don't know Jukebox is dead. You ain't paid us. I got you on tape. I got tapes on tapes of you and Kanan. Pay me, MF. I'll text you the address and you be there at 6 p.m. Then we see Reek at the penthouse. He's being comforted. He's inconsolable. He sits with his baby sister and she's like, where's Wayna? And then Reek is like, I don't know. He gets up. Then we see Kanan with a crew of a few and they're like, we gonna take Dre's money. This is what Kanan is saying, and his position. We gonna be making all the money. And then they Google Dre. Not Kanan. He don't know nothing about that. And then they talk about James and Dre. And then Kanan is told that Raina got killed. Kanan didn't know. Now he does. Then we see Tommy at confession with Father Dealer Padre. And Tommy feels like he was a bad godfather. And Tommy finds out that Dre has a new connect. That quick. Dre has been setting me up all along. He even set up Julio to get killed by the Toros. And now Father Dealer Padre is disturbed. Is that true? And Tommy, if I catch him alone, I'm going to break the 6th commandment. And then Tommy gets a call from Kanan. And he's like, I think I know who killed Raina. And Reek called asking me how to get in touch with Ray Ray. Ray Ray is a dirty cop. Either he found Ray Ray or Ray Ray found him. He's one of Jukebox's friends. And then we see James suited up in the front row of an empty church. And Councilman Tate plus the pastor walks in. The pastor is like, you can have the funeral here. I'll be your spiritual refuge, your sanctuary for a small fee. And then Tate is like, don't do nothing criminal with your criminal behind. Daughters of innocent men sleep safely in their beds. I'm just saying. Okay, so then we see Destiny. She chilling at the crib, and Tommy busts through the door, gun blazing. Where the F is Ray Ray? And Destiny, no, please don't kill me. I don't know. Please don't kill me. Is Reek all right? And then I didn't have nothing to do with his sister's murderation. Tommy is like, Reek? Hey, little girl, what's your name? You can make this all right. Tariq was upset, but if you just tell me whatever you know, and she tells him everything. Then we see Tommy calling Tasha. He like, T, we found out who killed Raina. It was a dirty cop. And Tasha's like, I thought it was the Jimenez. Why would a cop kill Raina? And Tommy is like, he was after Tariq. Don't let the cops in the apartment. And Tasha's like, I'm coming to meet you. Keisha can handle all of this. Because we know that she's a really good parent. So, Okay. And then Tommy is like, hold down Tariq and find out what he knows. And come up with some alibis. We're going to need them. And then Tasha realizes now when she go to look for him to hold him down and find out what he knows. He ain't telling her nothing. That Tariq is gone. And she leaves after she checks the safe and finds that her gun and some bullets are missing. And she can't reach her husband because his phone is in the house ringing in the desk when she called. It's just all messed up. And then we see, it's been messed up, I guess. Then we see Reek and Dre at the nightclub. And Reek is holding Dre at gunpoint. And Dre is like, you on that lean again? And Reek is like, yeah. And I'm probably high and crazy enough to kill your behind. You tell me where Ray Ray is, or I'll tell my daddy and my Uncle Tommy everything. I met Ray Ray through you, and Ray Ray was coming for me when he killed my sister. And Dre is like, he gonna be in Washington Heights 6 p.m. tonight, and the address to his apartment is blah 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 blah. Then we see Tasha at Angela's office, and Tasha is like, I need your help. Tariq is missing. Can you please track his cell phone? No police. James, did she catch that? Said that you cloned his phone before. And then Angela is like, did Tariq run away because he shot Raina? That's what Officer Raymond told me. He's been looking at witness statements. He was the last one, and he looked for Raina's murderation, and he looked at the witness statement. Did Officer Raymond kill Raina? And Angela gets a text coming in, and she's like, Tariq's in Washington Heights and he's close to this intersection, and if James gets caught killing an officer, he will get the death penalty. And then we see Ghost speeding. We see Reek walking into a place. He gets inside. James is basically right behind him, but James has to break the door of the building. And then at the same time, Reek is doing a break and entering into Ray Ray's place, and then Tommy is pulling up, and then James is running up the stairs, then Tommy goes in through the door, then Reek walks up behind Ray Ray, then Tasha pulls up outside, she sees Tommy's car, then Ray Ray is like, you alone, I know neither your father or your Uncle Tommy would let you come in here first, shoot me you little punk, be a man. And then he like, I knew you was a punk. And then we don't see him anymore. Then we see a gunshot from outside. And that gunshot lets Ghost, Tommy, and Tasha on the street identify where exactly Tariq is. So Tommy, Ghost, and Tasha go into the apartment. Oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. Are you okay? Are you okay? Then they go into criminal autopilot as the police sirens wail in the background. And then we see Sax is talking to Angela's boss about anti-Tommy and anti-Ghost witness. And he's like, oh, Angela, I can't talk to Angela because she's been gone for hours. That's why I had to go over her head and talk to you. And then Sax is like, you know, Maria Suarez, this is attorney Tamika Robinson. Tell her your story. Exactly what you told me. And then we see Father Dealer Padre, you know, meeting up with Dre. It's at night in an empty park. And empty-ish park. And, you know, Padre is like, you know, I want out, and, you know, I don't like how you do business. I just want to walk away. Let me walk away. I won't be a problem. I won't tell anybody. And Dre is like, you just told me that you belong to Tommy, and so you are a problem. Stab! And he kills him on the, you know, bench, the park bench. Then we see Tasha and Tariq coming into the apartment, and Tasha takes Tariq down into the basement to burn up his shirt, and she gives him a detailed proof of murder evidence removal lesson. Like, she gives him all of the steps. And then Reek follows all of the instructions that his mama gave him. He goes into the apartment, he don't speak to nobody, he take a shower, blah, 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 blah. And then at one point in their exchange, Tariq is like, I'm not sorry. And Tasha is like, I'm not sorry either. And don't stop until you wash every bit of this day down the drain. You can't wash away murderation, baby. Okay, so then we see Tommy and Ghost in the storage, and they're changing. And Ghost is like, one more stop. And then Tommy gets a call, and it's for Ghost. And then it's like we run into this scene. It's like amateur hour at the drug dealer, you know, rodeo or whatever. The Primeros are waiting to meet, you know, up with Dre. Dre comes in with the Jimenez siblings. They have found out, the Jimenez siblings, that Uriel is dead. Cristobal don't know anything about it. He kind of signals Dre. And then Dre is basically like, well, I know Callahan's not the killer. I can vouch for each one of these men here. I know that none of them will make a move without my say-so. So they ain't trying to start no wars, and I'm ready to proceed. And then we see Angela. She's on the crime scene of Detective Raymond Jones' flop, you know, at his flop house, his cover house. And there's no body, but there's blood. And even though Tommy had picked up shells when he came into the crime scene, Angela spots a bullet in the wall. And she says, if you run ballistics, I bet you'll get a match. Because they had, you know, Tasha's gun. And then we see Tasha meeting up with and embracing Silver at a restaurant. And she's like, you know, what if, you know, hypothetically, if someone had shot someone in the heat of the moment, if they had killed someone that the person was near and dear, and like the best person who was closest to them, and, you know, what would you tell them? And Silver is like, tell James to get a lawyer. And Tasha is like, it's me, and I need a lawyer. And Silver is like, look, baby, I can be your lawyer or I can be your lover, but I can't be both. And Tasha is like, here's your check, sir. Here's your retainer. And then we see Ghost and Tommy watching Dre in the Primeros and the Jimenez siblings, after their meeting, they're outside of a club restaurant spot, and Dre is it's basically like they're like, Dre is too big for us now that he's connected with these people, so we have to get backup. And Kanan is in the back seat, and Kanan is like, I can get some people, and Tomcat is like, anybody want Italian? So he gonna get his people. And then it's like the old gang, you know, Ghost, Kanan, and Tommy are back again like when they were kids. You know, like reunited and it feels so good. Reunited cause you understood. You know how to give a thumbs up and like this video and share it far and wide. We'll be reunited next season because that's the season finale. I don't know if I'm gonna do this show next season. Comment down below, share, subscribe. We're working on 200 subscribers. Yay! If you are a subscriber, thank you so much. If you are new to watching my channel, welcome. If you're a current subscriber or a current watcher, welcome back. Today is the best day ever. You are the greatest. Be you, be fabulous you. Peace, baby.